What's up, everybody? Me, Man Bennett, back here and again, and welcome back to the Not Your Mama's Fantasy Football League, Volume 4. Thank you for joining us. By us, I mean me, today. So, let's get right into these rankings, shouldn't we? Let's. So, Sasai. Okay, so first off, need to clear the air. Week 8, I beat Darren's team, Chateau Bargles Winery, beat O-Side Vatigo by like a point and a half. There was a stat correction, and it turns out I actually lost. So I lost that week, so just wanted to get that out. So that happened. We'll move on to the 12th place team. The 12th place team in these here rankings is the Fancy Lads, of course. They have the worst record with 2-7. They are the lone 2-7 team. I think that there is some roster management problem. I think that perhaps Whitney has flown the coop. I repeat, Whitney has flown the coop. Playing Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins when they are both out is a surefire sign that you are undoubtedly going to lose. He handed the victory over to Corey, and Corey will he'll take that. He'll take that all day, every day. So we move on to the 11th place team. The 11th place team in these here rankings is the Bong Towner Ballogists. That's right. Unfortunately, Andrew's team didn't get the victory this week against the Winery. And I blame Dak Prescott. I think... sure, he put up 23 points, but it was mostly garbage time points. He played like trash the majority of that game against the Denver Broncos. So, with 6 weeks left to play in the regular season here in fantasy, plenty of time for a 3-6 team to crack into the top 4, which would be the requirement for the playoffs, I believe. So he takes on Grand Salami time this week. Both are 3-6, and one will go this way, the other will go that way. So we move on to the 10th place team in these here rankings, and it is O-Side Vatigo. That's right, Darren's team. Like my team, they won and lost pretty much in the span of 48 hours. So that's bittersweet. What a roller coaster ride. What can we say? Russell Wilson's coming back, which means Tyler Lockett's stock is going to improve, and he's taking on under the steps Boogeyman, who don't have a habit of losing multiple weeks in a row. We're moving into must-win territory if you're a 3-6 team for sure. We move on to the 9th place team, and it is Grand Salami time. That's right, it's Katie's team. They got the victory, and they scored the most points this week. Give them a full round of applause. I think it was 130 something, 138, I believe. And it was enough to not only win, they would have beat anybody this week. Nick Chubb is back. George Kittle is back, and they will improve week to week as the year progresses. This is a prime time for those star players to be on the ascension, be moving up in this world. So we will move on to the 8th place team. 8th place team in these here rankings it's Big T Hemp, formerly the stole the mic from Terry Swift. Big T lost by a very narrow margin. He only lost by like 6 points. I would doubt that anyone is more disappointed. If you're even remotely disappointed in how fantasy has gone for you this year, it pales in comparison to how Tanner feels about his team. Came in with a lot of gusto and energy, and he has, with many waiver wire transactions. He's in the 50s at this point. But It's not over yet. He may be 3-6, but he's got a pretty good team, and his team, from my vantage point, just improved. Okay? He did a trade with Corey, which, I mean, hell, we never see trades in this league. It's pretty rare, but we saw a trade happen. It's done. It's concluded. And what happened? Corey gave up Darren Waller and Adam Thielen in exchange for Joe Mixon, Mike Williams, and Dawson Knox. So who was the beneficiary of that trade the most? Well, it is debatable. Personally, I think that Tanner got the better end of that stick. You know, let's just focus on what he got. He got Darren Waller and Adam Thielen. He could play both those guys this week and be happy with it. So, we move on to the 7th place team. How about that? 7th place team in these year rankings is Team Robs. Team Robs is 4-5. What can I say? He's middle of the pack over here, and he's been playing guys that are on IR. He's just a few games from the top. It's pretty great to watch. You know, I would love nothing more than for Evan to accidentally win the whole thing. He takes on Samuel's team this week. It's a beautiful team. It's a beautiful matchup. And he's capable. Evan's team is capable of making a little upset as long as he takes Devontae Parker out of his lineup. For God's sake. If he just maybe it's a good luck charm. I don't know. We're going to move on to the 6th place team. 6th place team in these here rankings is, and it's me, the Chateau St. Bargles Winery. Why? You know, because I won. And, you know, Odell is in limbo, but I got him on my bench. Chris Carson's coming back. James Robinson has a boo-boo on his heel, but he'll be back. AJ Green gave Noah Fant COVID, but they'll be all right. And the only reason I won really is because I played a guy named Patrick Freiermuth, who got me like 19 points. So how often is that going to happen? You know, I take my wins and I move on. Tough road ahead. We'll see what happens. We move on to the 5th place team. The 5th place team in these year rankings is Master Cook. That's right, Master Cook. Allen's team. Did he win? Of course he did. Does it matter that he would have lost to 8 other teams this week? No, doesn't matter. He would have, but it doesn't matter. He got another dub. Win column goes up. He's a winning team, 5-4. Although he only scored 86 points. Who cares? Who cares? The point total this week was pretty low for everybody, I feel. Josh Allen has not been playing up to his standard. He will improve. I expect him to bounce back. And we have Master Cook taking on Limp Biscuits this week. That is a very important contest, I would say. Very important indeed for many blah, blah, blah. So we move on to the 4th place team. 4th place team in these air rankings is Under the Steps Boogeyman. That's right. Ben's team, one of the top teams, took a tumble. I blame Matt Stafford personally. Man only got 15 points and he averages like 27, 28. You know, Ben is not in the habit of losing multiple weeks in a row. I'm sure he doesn't like seeing a 6-3 record. That's got to feel kind of yucky. And he takes on Darren's team this week. The question is, will he play Russell Wilson? I don't know. We'll have to tune in to find out. And we move on to the 3rd place team. And these are now, from here on out, the top 3 teams. They're all tied for 1st place. All of these teams are 7-2 with quality participatory players in such as their roster. And the 3rd place team in these year rankings is Team Diaper Funds. Corey, putting him in right at 3rd place. He won. You know, only losing 2 games all year is pretty impressive. But he lost Derrick Henry, and I think that's going to play a factor here. I also think that he lost the trade with Tanner because he gave up Darren Waller. In exchange, really, like the marquee part of what Corey got back is Joe Mixon, who's on a bye. So Tanner can immediately plug and play those guys this week and benefit from it. Corey, Joe Mixon's on a bye, can't play him. So he gave up some stuff. He got some stuff, but he can't even play probably the best thing he got in that trade, which is Joe Mixon. So, could be a little deal, could be a big deal. We'll have to, see what happens next. Corey's been doing what he needs to do to win all year. I would not expect that to change. Now, we will move on to the second place team. Second place team in these here rankings is Limp Biscuit. The Limp Biscuits, that's right, Michael's team is in second place with a 7-2 record. And this is my notes for Michael's team. The slow and steady turtle is sure to win the race. Fuck that rabbit. Put that there. Because although it seems like Michael's been behind the 8 ball, what with a poor performances by Patrick Mahomes, the injury that sidelined Christian McCaffrey for several weeks, he's in it. And those guys are going to figure this out and be moving in an upward trajectory. So, I think that Michael could go all the way. I think he's got all the pieces, and they're coming on at the right time. Unless the first place team in these here rankings is Kicking It with Younghoe. That's right, Samuel's team back on the top, always on the top actually. He was on the top last week. And he's been here at the top spot longer than any other team. He's been here very consistently, 7-2. What can we say? He's got great pieces on his team. And also his average margin of victory over those 7 wins is 30 points. Not to say he's won every win by 30, but he's averaged a winning margin of 30 points. That's impressive. That's pretty impressive. 6 matchups left. Let's count the ways. He is taking on Team Robs this week. Should be fine there. But after that, the remaining 5 weeks are against the Limp Biscuits, Team Diaper Funds, the Winery, Grand Salami Time, and he closes against Under the Steps Boogeyman. That is a hellish slate. That's basically the second place team, the third place team, the fourth place team, and like the sixth place team. He's going to need to win half those games to keep up. Otherwise, if he loses against these guys that are right there with him, it could spell some disaster for Samuel. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I think it matters that he's a tough schedule? No, I don't. I think Samuel's going to win it all this year, baby. So, that's all. Those are the rankings. Thanks for tuning in this week, last week, maybe next week too. And, what else can we say? Have a good day.